Hey there, Internet. Keeve here, and welcome to the Cars and Keeve YouTube channel. What we have in front of you is the Giraffe Tools Ultra Flow. Now, this is their commercial style, auto enthusiast kind of pressure washer. It's very expensive at $1,000. They're doing some crazy promises on this. 65 decibels. Now, it doesn't say the distance that decibel is. Now, it says it does 1650 PSI and 2.6 gallons per minute, but we know those are what the max numbers are. The rated flow is 1300. The rated gallons per minute is 2.2. Now, it says it can deliver all that on a 15 amp circuit. It says 15 amps up there is the max. We'll see about that. You have a foam can that comes with it. You have just a crappy gun with $1,000 pressure washer. You get this. Got to cut costs somewhere, right? So I'm coming to you from the future because I forgot to tell you that I got this for free from Giraffe Tools for an honest review. This is not a paid promotion. This is not a partnership. I made that very clear with them. I fought them for a week to not sign a contract because I'm not signing a contract. I did it mainly because it's early in the season. I can't afford to spend money on something I know that's not going to have a return until I get further into the season. I figured there aren't going to be a whole lot of honest reviews on this product, so I figured it needed to be done. So they did send it to me. I normally pay for everything, but not this one. My biggest gripe that I've seen physically is that the pump, very important piece of this that just hangs off a crankshaft on the side, is outside the safety cage or whatever this is meant to be. And they could have just expanded this out to protect the pump a little bit. I think that would have been a good idea. The pressure switch is just sitting out here ready to get knocked over. If you're going to build a nice cage, which this is a really nice powder coated cage. Wall mount though is so far out and it's so big and heavy, 73 pounds. To just sit on the wall, I don't like the idea. I really don't. I think because of the way this is built, the weight, the rubber feet up here on the ground, and they also sell a cart that you could put this on. I personally wouldn't do wall mount. It comes with some bolts here that you can use and a bracket. This is kind of like the same bracket that they always used. I also took the stopper and put it all the way up here. It was about that far out. Not a big fan of that. Comes with a pretty decent inlet hose here, but I mean, it's not bad. It's garden hose thread. It's a little bit pliable, but it has a lot of memory to it. I myself have my Ely Quick Connect that I'm going to put in here because that's my favorite. They will notice across the front, something Giraffe Tools has done that they've never been able to do before is have a logo that's exactly straight. Now, if you've seen a Giraffe Tools before, you know what I'm talking about. It's always some kind of metal plaque that sits in there, and it's always installed kind of crooked or just barely hanging on. The dimensions, it's 16 inches tall this way. We're about 15 and a half wide and 15 from front to back. And all the way out from the cage of the foam cannon all the way out to the inlet here is about 24 inches. It does come with old school style foam cannon. You don't have the ability to change your fan like this, which doesn't matter because it's already in a vertical state, but it does allow you to adjust your stream. You can adjust your dilution of water up here. And obviously there's a screw on the back that you can change the orifices. Now this cage was a bit loose for me. So you could take a pair of pliers on the side and just kind of pinch this bar tight, and then it'll make it fit much better. It is maintainable. It has an oil sight glass on the side. It's the halfway point, perfect where it is. We have a place to put oil in from the top and a place to drain oil at the bottom. It says it takes 15W40, and it actually has it on the sticker here that it takes 240 milliliters as well. Now, it doesn't say the part number of this pump or anything, so I don't know if they're going to offer parts, rebuild kits, or anything like that down the road. I'm not a big fan of these metal outputs that go over to the reel here. I think they can be kind of restrictive. On the Comet, it was kind of restrictive. I got much better results from a regular hose. So we'll do that here. We'll see what it's like coming from the reel. The hose is really nice, 50-foot wire braided 1/4 inch hose. You have a warning sticker here for how hot this could possibly get. You do have instructions, don't need those. You can make this shorter with this adapter. This is an M22 to 1/4 inch. Just goes on the end of the gun. That makes this shorter. So basically taking this and making it that small. That's going to make using this foam cannon a lot easier. So we're going to hook up from the gun to the hose. We have an M22 14mm to 3/8 quick disconnect. Then at the end of the hose, we have another one that has a female M22 here on this side that hooks up to the hose. that's how you make it shorter. But I myself, when we do the upgraded stuff for this, I'm going to use the Tutu Luck here. It's my current favorite. It's only 35 bucks. Really just amazing swivel. And then foam cannon, I myself would go with the Rancovo. It's right now about $30, I believe. It's just really, really good. I've dropped this thing so many times and it survived the drops. But if you're gonna stick to the gun, you wanted to say this foam cannon, this one has the M22 on the back. So you could use the quick connector that's already there, but you can also directly connect the end of the gun M22 to this style of foam cannon, the MJJC style M22 back. You have a 40-degree nozzle, a 25-degree nozzle, a 15-degree nozzle, and a turbo nozzle. They're all 3.9 sized. This says it can last 1,000 hours. I don't know exactly what the 1,000 hours is. What is the weak point? Is it the motor? Is it the pump? Because obviously you can change the oil in the pump. I go about 100 hours or so. I think a cart would be good with this, but you would have to have a longer extension cable. And if you do, 10 AWG is the kind of electrical cord you should get. If you need a suggestion, I'll link it in the description below, along with anything else in the video. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let's get to the testing. So this way, up. So if you do get into an angle in these corners, the roundness of the metal is going to catch the hose, and then it's still going to roll, but there's a little bit of friction there. So you definitely want to stay on the rollers. So we can pull down, we can pull up, we can pull to the side and pull that side. And when it goes back in, just kind of hold the hose a little bit. Don't let it go flailing in, because it's going to go too fast. It's going to overspring, and you're going to hear the spring inside just spool around. It reels in and out fine. It doesn't reel in and out very uniform on the inside, and this is visible. So those of you with OCD, this might be a problem for you, but I've never had it catch. I've never had it to where it gets tangled up in there. It is a nice, very flexible 1/4-inch hose. I prefer 3/8 at this kind of performance level. Here we go. You can see it lays good. Like I'm not with the stock gun. It has no swivel, so it is going to want to loop on you. But I mean, the hose is good. That is 50 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 click points. So I would just kind of walk it in. You can let it go. I mean, you can let it go as fast as you want it. So we're getting everything hooked up. I already have my power hooked up. It made it to receptacle, but you can see even from just this distance right here, this is all the slack that I have. So we have our Flexzilla 5/8-inch swivel grip hose. We have our Ely sprayer here. I have a quick connect at the end of the sprayer. That way I can undo my nozzle and then directly connect it to a pressure washer if I need to. Let's hook our gun up, because if we don't, we're gonna have a big leak here. See if it leaks or not. Run through the hose until you have no air left. All right, here goes nothing. Okay, that doesn't take long to prime up. I'm gonna put in the 40-degree nozzle. There's a small little pop, like the slightest pause that you could possibly think of, and then it kicks in, but it doesn't ramp up. It's just like, I don't suggest that. I'm just testing. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to the looping here. In order to undo loops, you have to turn the whole gun. So Giraffe, kind of a question. Where did you test this at? Maximum capacity current, 120 volt, 15 amps, 60 hertz, 16.74 on my wall over here. That's a lot. That's way over. Not like a little bit over. That's a significant amount over. Some circuits could take it. A lot of them, especially on the initial startup, probably going to trip the breaker. That's a bit of a miss there. Like, I don't know where it was tested, or if they made a last minute change and they didn't check things out. Now, Big Boy had the same issue. I had overamp on their Duo, and they immediately sent out new nozzles to all the customers to get them the way it is. Maybe that's something, Giraffe, you need to think about. I will say the sound that it makes is kind of a nice sound. That's 78 decibels from maybe 5 feet, maybe close to 6 feet. That's pretty good. Most pressure washers are in the 80s, and the active is at 90. So it is quiet. It's not 65 decibels quiet. It might be 65 decibels at 20 feet. I'm not gonna lie, this feels pretty good. So let's see what our PSI is. About 1150. I'm just gonna run the stock foam can empty so we can at least see the PSI. That's 1090. That's gonna be overamp. Yeah, that's 15.6 amps, so overamp on the foam cannoning as well. So I got my pin gauge set out to check the orifice in here, and to my surprise, I thought it was gonna be a 1.1 or a 1.25. It's like 1.32. You're gonna need like a 1.40 to be safe. So I found a 1.45 for the active. This should make it safe. 13.4 amps, that's more like it. So I have 3 of my test nozzles here, which are very accurate. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna run the 4.0 because the 4.0 is very close to their 3.9. So this 4.0 is getting 1080. Yeah, the 4.0 is still too much at 15.9, 4.5. This should get us under. Wow, that's a drastic drop to 875. But that makes it safe at 13.5 amps. I myself don't mind 875, but some people are sticklers for 1,000. Let's try a 5.0 just to try it. A 740. Now I have a jumper hose going straight into the pump, goes straight to my fixed fans hose reel, which if I built a system, I would get like an AR630, the fixed fans hose. I would get any kind of decent 3/8 hose. This is a Kevlar hose. It's much more expensive. The 2.2 Luck, and we're maybe $100 over this. I mean, that's a pretty good setup. Turn the water on and see if there's any difference in restriction. I'm getting 880 out of the 4.5 at 12.5 amps. So this is the same scenario that happened with the Comet. The Comet was a full amp or more higher through their reel system and their hose and everything versus straight out the pump. So this is the original 3.9, 1165, but are the amps going to be less? So close, 15.25 amps. So the 4.0 might be the money with an upgraded setup, but why would you buy this if you're getting an upgraded hose and gun anyway and not even using their reel? So the 4.0, 1090, 14.4. So we finally got it under 15 amps. So maybe possibly when they did their ratings, they based it off of the output of the pump itself. Now I've kind of changed my mind. I don't think I'm going to do any performance numbers or any testing with just straight out the pump, because I don't think anybody in their right mind would buy this just for the pump and motor. So stock gun, they're 40 degree 3.9 that measures 16.75 amps. Like, I gotta say, look at the consistency. Like, the fan is good, it's consistent, it hits the panel well. It's just overamped. Now, if this was advertised as a 20 amp machine, I wouldn't be even having this argument here, but it's pretty nice. We're just overamped. So my 4.5 test nozzle, I guess it's like the 875-ish PSI. It gets us under the 15 amps. So let's see what this is like. This is 25 degrees, so it's gonna be slightly less of a pattern than the last one. like I said before, if you're willing to spend $1,000 on this and that's what you want, then get the Tutu Luck swivel gun, get you a 4.5 nozzle. You're going to be safe under 15. If you don't care about that and you have a 20 amp circuit, don't come to me if you blow it up. So this is the stock gun with a 1.45 orifice that gets you under the 15 amps. I'm not thinking this is going to be too good. Yeah, very watery, and this is Incredible Suds 32-to-1. It's an amazing foamer soap, so we're not gonna have that problem there. Code Cars with Keith will save you 10% at the House of Rags on that. This is a stock orifice that measured like 1.32, and it was like 15.6 or 7 amps. That's much more like it, thicker. It's a little bit runny on the panel right now because we just sprayed onto already existing foam. So here's the Raincovo. This thing foams really well. It's like 30 bucks. Let's see what difference it is. There's a 1.45 in here, so this is definitely safe for the 15 amps. That is pretty good with the 1.45. So you're not going to get crazy, absolute shaving cream thick, but you are safe under the 15 amps, and it's much better foam than the one that comes with it for sure. So here's the 4.5. Man, it rinses off good. It's 25 degrees, so it takes more sweeps, but plenty of water, plenty of impact. I do want to go ahead and check decibels with the 4.5 because obviously we pulled the amps down. It shouldn't be working as hard. And we're at 76 from this distance. All right, time to check GPM. It's easy. We have an empty bucket on a scale. I've tared it out to 0. So the only weight that's going to be seen now is the water weight. A gallon of water is 8.34 pounds. We ran it for exactly 1 minute. That'll get us our gallons per minute. So stock nozzle, we're obviously gonna be running 16.75 amps for a full straight minute, but we just gotta see what the stock numbers are. Well, just based off of what I'm seeing here, we're over 2 gallons a minute. 17.36 divided by 8.34, 2.08 gallons per minute. So nowhere near the 2.6. So let's check the 4.5, see what we can get with that. So that's 17.70 divided by 8.34. That's 2.12 gallons per minute. It's not bad numbers. This is the 5.0 nozzle, but remember we're down like in the mid 700s. Wow, this thing is just tuned for exactly what they're looking for. It's not tuned to go beyond. 17.84 divided by 8.34, 2.14 gallons per minute. It's not worth the downgrade to you know, the 5.0. The 4.5 is the way to go. Is it a viable solution? Absolutely. Absolutely. It is what a lot of people are looking for. You could put it on the ground, you could put it on a table, you could put it on a cart, you could put it on the wall. It comes with a decent foam cannon. It comes with the crappy gun. The hose is pretty decent. Hose is pretty good, actually. It doesn't work at 15 amps. It's 16.75 amps with the stock nozzles. I don't know what scenario they use to get the numbers that they say they can work under 15 amps. It doesn't. It just doesn't. They delivered the wrong nozzle size. Nowhere near the quality of an AR630, which you can get for about Cars Supplies Warehouse for about $780 shipped, $790 shipped. I'll leave a link below. So there you go. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Once again, like I said, they sent this to me for free because I don't think I would have bought it to review. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Better because I don't like the fact that this, oh my God. How many times has my microphone magnetic to something? Oh, Jesus. Now they suggest when, now they suggest when it goes, now they always suggest when it, oh my gosh. So we have our 5/8" Flexzilla. So we have our 5/8" Flex. So we have our Flexzilla. Oh my gosh. Can you go a video without doing that? Just one time, not do that.